The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Nate's ready to go.
Fight song Friday. Can we play some Rocky Top?
The Rocky Top.
Big college football weekend. Big National Football League weekend. And the Cowboys are going to get back on track on Sunday afternoon at 3:25 at AT&T Stadium. Don't you think?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's
All
go.
right. Here it is. We're inside the SWBC podcast studio, and this is Mick Shots, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Everson Walls was a no-show once again.
A late no-show.
A late no-show at that. And so it's the ever-reliable Nate in Frisco who has rejoined the show. Hello, Nate.
I am so excited to be here with you guys, man. I mean, the enthusiasm that you guys exude just overwhelms me.
Well, you know what, Nate? I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Growing up, did you play baseball?
Yes, and I was not very good at it. That is a hectic sport. That ball is something wicked. You hear me? That little ball I could not control. I could hit it decently.
Did you ever go 6 for 6 with 10 RBIs in one game?
I had a no-hitter.
Oh, did you?
I had a no-hitter as a left-handed pitcher, and because kids ain't used to a left-handed
You know what?
pitcher.
When I was in high school, I had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
As a right-handed hitter.
Wow.
Can you appreciate what Ohtani did last night?
What did he do?
Shohei Ohtani. Okay,
Yes, sir.
get this.
Kid from across the water.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes, sir.
The highest paid player in any sport.
Played for the Dodgers.
That's right.
Yeah, iconic Dodgers.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Okay, and so he is getting close. Okay, going into yesterday, he's getting close to being the first member ever of the 50-50 club.
Right, and what
which
is
is
that?
50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in the same season.
Yes, I
Okay.
heard about 3 or 4 days ago they was talking about, and I was wondering. I caught the tail end of the major league thing,
Right.
and they was talking about it. Oh, he's
Well, guess
40
so,
or something.
And
Guess
so he
what
gets to
happened?
50 stolen bases, not before last. Okay,
Yes.
so he's got that.
Right.
Now he's still 2 home runs away. Going into yesterday, he was 1 home run away from 50 home runs. So they get in a blowout game against the Miami Marlins.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he comes up in the 7th inning. And he hits one of the most dramatic home runs that you can imagine for his 50th home run.
Yes, sir.
438 feet.
Okay.
Wow.
And then he gets another at bat in the 9th inning, and he hits another home run. He winds up, and earlier in the game he had 2 doubles and 2 stolen bases. Okay. The 2 stolen bases got him to 51 stolen bases. Okay, so going into yesterday, he wasn't at 50 stolen bases either yet. Okay, so he had in the game, he goes 6 for 6 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 2 stolen bases, and 10 runs batted in a 20-4 win.
So that is the first ever in what he's just accomplished.
50-50.
For the
But I'm
But
talking,
he
about
wins.
I'm talking about the other stats.
the other
too.
stuff,
6 for 6, though.
2 doubles,
2 home runs,
2 stolen bases. This got to be a
stolen-
first, and 10 bats batted.
and 10 runs batted
This got to
in.
be a first in all. I mean,
You know,
what
there was
call
one
that, a
game.
quadruple quarter.
A 10 RBI game is very, very, very rare. I do
Right.
remember Pudge Rodriguez had one at Seattle, a game that I did for the Rangers in 1998 or so. And he did it in the
that
first
long
5
ago.
innings of the game. And that's the only time I can remember. But to do that when you are approaching that 50-50 club. And so he just
Is he in that club by himself?
by himself.
Yes.
There's no one that's come
Nobody.
close to it. Yeah.
Not even Babe Ruth.
Yeah. And this guy, he's not pitching this year, but this guy also pitches too.
Yes, he does. But isn't he taking a year off because
right? So he's doing all this with Tommy John.
And he tried to hit for the cycle, and he was going for a triple and got thrown out at third base. Mm-hmm. We had a double. Amazing.
In today's Major League Baseball, where the home run is everything, for a kid to do that, and it's just a great deal to see a kid that can do it all. When we was growing up, you probably was the best pitcher and the best hitter. This
on your
kid,
little league
once
team,
his elbow gets right, he's going to be one of the best pitchers and one of the best hitters. It's just good to see an old school baseball player.
One thing that I like too is that in the seventh inning, it was a blowout game, and the Dodgers were way ahead. But the Marlins manager, when Ohtani came up, there were runners at second and third.
Right.
First base was open. Baseball strategy is you walk him.
Right, get it full. And yes,
but he said, and they had a close up of him, and lip readers could say, could see that what he said was, "Screw this. I have too much respect for this guy. I'm pitching to him."
Right.
And he pitched to him, and he had a home run.
He had too much respect for the game.
Yeah, that's right.
When I see greatness or when I hear of greatness, my hat's off to it because you don't get to see, and he's an everyday player. This is, correct. He's when I do look at baseball stats, he's an everyday guy, and he's sprinkled all through the stats, and that is what I can enjoy.
Now, having said that, he's primarily a DH.
Yeah, but in the league where he's a DH.
Because he's pitching, so they don't try to wear him out.
That's what I'm saying.
Taking nothing away from him.
DH has been around how long?
Since 1973.
Yeah, so he's an everyday player. He does his job. He comes to the ballpark and does his job. Mm-hmm. You don't get that in football or baseball.
Now, the greatness, there are certain guys that just rise to the moment. And that's the definition of greatness in any sport. It's the guys that when it's all on the line, and that's one of those moments where, he put it all on the line there and he rose to the occasion.
Yes.
It's Emmitt Smith in that game against the Giants.
Yes.
That's where greatness is revealed. Reggie Jackson was like that all the time.
All the time, especially in the playoffs. It went up another. And that is why I have issue when we try to put too much pressure on these young kids early in their career saying who he reminds you of. Well, he reminds me of himself because he's trying to build a career. Mm-hmm. And I try to keep everybody in order. Greatness, it's rare that you have a Gale Sayers who just lights the league up in a short amount of time. It ain't a bunch of those. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of Johnny-come-latelys, but not like that. And I agree with you 100%, Bill. Do you have anything to add, Mickey?
I do.
What do you have?
We're going to get it back to football.
Okay.
And Bill probably knows this, but there was a story this morning in the morning news, high school, all right, Cedar Hill. 3 brothers. They're triplets.
Wow.
Triplets. One of them, Devin Coleman, is 6'4", 340.
Okay.
He's an offensive lineman.
Right.
One of them, Jordan Coleman, is 6'5", 350.
Right.
Offensive lineman.
Right.
And the runt of the triplets is Isaiah Coleman, 6'2", 260.
And let me and the Cowboys are signing them to play defensive line this week.
Right, absolutely. They're all committed to Texas. Wow. 2 of them on scholarship. One's going to be a preferred walk-on.
Wow.
But think about this. Triplets. This poor mother has to feed those 3 monsters.
And they say they eat light.
No. She said she has to go to like Costco or Sam's and spend $30 or $40 a week on meat, and she buys a carton of 60 eggs a week to feed them. And she goes, thank God they're going to college.
What is the little guy that used to come on a long time ago? He used to be real hyper, blonde hair, wear the short shorts. I can't think of his name. If I think of his name, then she need to call him. He's a little old now, but he's a real enthusiastic guy, to start their morning out with exercise.
The exercise.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
What? Oh, Richard
Simmons.
Yeah.
Or back in Mickey's day, it was Jack LaLanne.
Oh, yeah. I remember Jack LaLanne. Wow.
So part of the story was when she went and had her first sonogram, they shocked her, told her she's having twins.
Right.
And then she went back in, and they go, one was hiding.
Right. I guess that was the runt. That was
That's right. That's right.
You're going to have triplets. Think about that, and they're all that big.
Wow.
And last thing, so we thought it was amazing that the Saints against the Panthers scored on their first 9 possessions.
Yes, sir.
Last night, North Crowley High School scored on their first 10 drives. They beat Rockwall 70-17.
Ooh, Rockwall used to be pretty.
And they were ranked.
Who that?
Rockwall. They
lost their quarterback to the torn ACL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I knew something had happened.
But they lost. They must have lost a lot of.
No, but North Crowley.
Offense. Defense.
North Crowley is they're now, I think they're ranked 3rd in the state, 11th in the nation. They beat DeSoto a couple weeks ago. That's
North Crowley. Because Rockwall usually don't lay down like that.
70 points.
Yeah, the Rockwall usually don't lay down like that.
Hell, they scored 50-some against DeSoto.
Well, when Jackson Smith and Jigba played for Rockwall, they were scoring 70 points or 80 points every game, and but
that just caught my eye. That and the triplets in Ohtani.
Wow, you did your high school research today.
Yeah, he went all out, didn't he?
He's looking for Missouri recruits.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have
a football team
and football players on a football field doing
right.
a walkthrough as we started this show.
Walkthrough practice today, and they're walking through, but they're using both fields at the same time.
And
offense on one, defense on the other.
So they're doubling up on their
using their time wisely. Yep. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
So the injury report from yesterday when they had the padded practice, you'll be glad to hear that Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb both went from did not practice to limited, and it sounds like they're going to be good to go. Jake Ferguson limited both days, and I think they're very encouraged that he's going to be able to go. Mozzie Smith did not practice both days, but they seemed encouraged that it was getting better, which is
a back injury.
And it's a good sign since Jordan Phillips had to be placed on injured reserve with a wrist injury. So from a injury standpoint, they may have everybody on deck for this game. So that's a good sign.
And you expect the newly acquired off the Commanders practice squad, number 92, Carlos Watkins, to get playing time.
I would imagine
Sunday.
so. I would imagine he's going to be out there out of necessity, right? And from the Ravens side of things, Nate Wiggins, their cornerback, was out with a concussion. Did not practice on Wednesday, but was limited on Thursday. So I would imagine he's headed in the
clearance.
Right direction. The same thing with their safety, Kyle Hamilton, limited with a back injury. He did not practice the day before. So they seem to be getting
and Nate Wiggins
healthier.
Is their first-round draft pick who started their opener and did not play last week against the Raiders in a loss, their second straight loss to start the season. Okay.
So there you go.
So we are up to speed.
You're up to speed.
What's going on there as far as who's going to play on Sunday? Now, how well are they going to play on Sunday is the next question.
Well, that's got to get that defensive line going and got to get that offensive line going.
And we heard from Clarence Hill that Overshown said, I will be out there, So when this game starts, so everybody can quit complaining that Overshown did not play enough to suit you. And I'm hoping that the guys up front will protect these young linebackers and older guys in Kendrick. I'm hoping and praying that these guys grab turf. Don't let these guys move them, and so that our linebackers can be effective as they need to be for this game.
And that's going to be the key thing. And to me, it's this game is about both lines.
Yes, sir, it is.
Offensive line, defensive line.
Yes.
Because if the offensive line plays well, then the running backs will run well.
Yes.
And as you can tell, not only McCarthy, but I think Jerry Jones this morning getting tired of answering the questions about the running back committee and if Dalvin Cook's going to play.
What was his answer, Mick? What was Mr. Jones' answer?
He basically said, I'm happy with the running backs. I'm happy with what they can do. It's only 2 games in, and we just need to play better and be able to have more runs. So
the thing is, with this game, I went back and looked at the film because I hate to misjudge players. All we need is time. The left tackle played okay. They tell me about the PFI. Okay, PFI, whatever.
Thank you.
Left guard played nice.
Pro Football Focus? Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah. Whatever it's supposed to be called.
Bill knew because I said
left tackle played okay. The left guard played nice. The center played okay. Our right guard played okay. Our right guard played. Our right tackle did not, and it was only in the passing situations.
Right.
So what we have to do with our running backs and our offensive lines is make sure we have the right guys lined up for the right plays, regardless if the defense knows it's coming. If we get Fergie back, our tight ends have to become an awesome, great part of the run game. You cannot just get in the way. You're going to have to really stabilize your guy. I ain't saying move him, but you're going to have to grab him and make sure he does not move or knock you back. We will be okay if we do that. You will have to run the ball. People saying throw it 40, 50. It's not going to work. You're going to have to sprinkle the run. 15 to 20 runs, 25 would be great. But you got to sprinkle it in just to give your guys a chance. I've always said this about our right tackle and our quarterback. They're one and the same guys. They are play action pass guys. So you have to have some semblance of a run, some threat of a run for these guys to be truly successful. So our right tackle has to, you just can't let these guys tee off on our right tackle. Because you're trying to help the left tackle, you can't help both.
Right.
So the right tackle, all he needs is his confidence back. So we have to run just enough, and not only for the sanctity of our offensive line, but this is going to help our defensive line. We got to take the air out of the ball. We got to click some time off the clock. We can't be a 3-and-out team. We need at least 10 plays. Every time you walk out there, let the 10th play be a punt. Let the 9th play be a punt. But don't walk out there and do a 4-and-out, a 3-and-out, a 5-and-out. That's giving Lamar and those guys too many options. And when you give great athletes and great players too many options, that's when it can hurt us. So our offense, everything is predicated off our offense. Dak can't miss. Don't squeeze nothing in early. Throw it away. Don't give them no opportunities to put that kid, Lamar Jackson, on the field. That's just my belief, fellas.
Okay, as far as the run game is concerned, did you hear Jerry this morning on the Fan?
I did.
Okay. Now, John Machota's done a great job of transcribing what Jerry said about the running back situation. Okay. And so let me read a little bit about what he has tweeted out an hour ago about it. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones tried to downplay any issues at running back. When asked about Dalvin Cook potentially playing this week, he responded, I don't know that will happen. I must tell you, this is a little bit of a first for me because I've never seen such made of our position, what we're doing at that position, running back this year, not having done this or not having done that at running back. Both of these guys came out the same time, meaning Derrick Henry and Ezekiel Elliott. We've got a pretty good contemporary of our competition this week in Zeke Elliott. I'm pleased with what Zeke is doing. Running back is just not on our radar as far as an area of interest.
So I paraphrased pretty well, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't please the people asking the question, by the way. They keep asking Mike about it, and he keeps giving them a long answer with no answer. He doesn't even address it.
The thing...
And let me say this. Last week against the Raiders, Derrick Henry had 7 carries for 5 yards in the first half of that game. And then they committed to running the football in the third quarter of that game, and he wound up with 18 carries for 84 yards. So his first 7 carries, he had 5 yards, and then in the third quarter, and I don't know why they went away from him after they had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. They didn't give him the ball as much. He had 11 carries for, what would that be, 79 yards.
The thing that amazes me is offensive coordinators do that for some reason. You know, the head coach has to normally step in and say, "Hey, man, what happened here?" But fortunate and unfortunate, our offensive coordinator is our head coach, so
he's now the play caller.
He has to. I'm telling you, he has to know if I don't protect my defense, because we got bruised a little bit physically and mentally last week. So it's early in the season, but our guys are kind of wounded, and we have to give them an opportunity. So you haven't heard me say this all year, but time of possession, just to help our defense, is a key thing. I'm telling you, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays. We have to try to help our, if they flip the coin, they need to grab it and say heads and give it to the ref and say, we taking the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Don't defer.
Yeah, don't defer. Don't give them a chance to get ahead of you.
And let's add one more thing on that, because they had some long 9, 10-play drives.
Yes.
But they kicked field goals.
Yes.
You got to score touchdowns.
You do. This team ain't averaging but 22 points, 23 points a game. And I'm talking about the Ravens. Mm-hmm. So they're having problems.
Yeah, they are.
So let's continue. Whatever teams have done in this short history of 2 games, can we duplicate that? Do we have the players to duplicate that?
The Ravens have some of came into this season, came into the offseason with some of the same issues the Cowboys had on their offensive line. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys had to replace Tyron Smith and Tyler Biotish. They did that with a first-round draft pick and a third-round draft pick. Well, the Ravens are sitting there trying to replace 3 starters from their offensive line last year. Both guards. Kevin Zeitler is now with Detroit. Yeah. And John Simpson is now with the Jets, and Morgan Moses, their right tackle, is also with the Jets, just got hurt last night. And they're trying to replace him with a 7th-round draft pick at left guard, and they've got a 4th-round 380-pounder. They moved from tackle to guard to start at right guard. Mm-hmm. And then they drafted a guy in the 2nd round, Rosengarten, and he's not ready yet. He is getting snaps in games, but he's not starting. They've got their veteran swing tackle, Patrick McCary, who's starting at right tackle right now. And that's some of the issues they're having on their own offense. And
I'm telling people, even with that line, it takes time. You don't play in the preseason. And you're talking about a position where you have to be coordinated. You have to be ready to run, whether it's run or pass games, pass stunts. People are always moving on you. Does your scheme enhances all of that? And if it does, you need to be like a chorus line. All the girls' legs go up at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I hope I don't offend anyone, but you get what I'm saying, right? And so all their legs got to be kicking at the same time.
Kilgore Rangerettes.
That's right. That's right.
So, Apache Bells from Tyler or wherever.
Our offensive line has, last week, I would give them a C+. because they battled. I don't care. They battled. And if we can get that C+ and get a little better game from Steele, because it's not only for their sanity, and I keep saying it's for our defense too. You cannot scheme toughness. Now you can put guys in the right place. You can do this. You can do that. But that was a tough pill for our guys to swallow. So these guys are coming in here with one thing in mind: we're gonna be physical. And our guys has to meet that. I'm talking about our front four. I'm not worried about our linebackers.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about our corners. Our corners will make plays if we can stop the run and turn them one-dimensional. I just don't believe that Lamar Jackson can beat us throwing. I don't believe that. Until he beat a good team throwing with consistency, I don't believe he can do it. Now, he can run all over the world. He can loop the world. He's like Flash. He can turn the world. He can run so fast he can spin the world backwards. But he can't throw. Not with any accuracy.
Okay, we're way past time for our first break. We're going to take that, and I'm going to ask.
We took it.
And Nate, I'm going to ask you about the T-shirt you're wearing. I have a guess as to what it represents when we come back here on Mick Shots.
Yes.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Nate Newton, are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboy fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to the Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year and go Cowboys.
Yes, I've been a fan since 70-71, so.
Well, you should.
That's right.
You should win the award then.
Since 70-71.
Yes, I was born in 61, so I was 10 or 11 years old.
Okay, so were you a fan when you were at Jones High School in Orlando?
Yes, sir. I was rocking at J-High, baby. J-High for life.
And you're still rocking Jones High School, right? That's Jones High School, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
The great Barry Switz. I remember when we first got. He
remembers everybody's high school.
Oh no. Nature just was not big enough to play for me then. I said, what about now? Yeah, it's going to cost you $5 per pound.
You mentioned a player to Barry Switzer, and he'll mention.
Oh, I know.
He'll say their high school. I know. Kenny King,
and he'll
Clarendon,
tell you
Texas.
their mom and dad's name.
Yeah,
that's right. That's
All right, next week I got to find my high school
Do that, man.
My high school
But
jersey.
give us the picture where you had your helmet on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. or the wrestling picture.
My wrestling picture.
yesterday. All right.
You made All-State?
No, I don't think so.
All-State at 112 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a grappler.
Okay, we got a quick segment here. So
Okay.
get a quick something rather than we got our picks in the next segment.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Give me something.
So we concentrated on the offensive line.
Yes.
So now the defensive line.
Our defensive line?
The Cowboys' defensive line. And the way they lined up last week was DeMarcus Lawrence, Mozzie, Osa, and basically Micah Parsons for the majority of the snaps. But Parsons didn't play every snap at defensive end.
Marshawn.
They brought in Marshawn Nealon, sometimes moving him inside, and they played Golston, who had the most stats of anybody playing little defensive end and little defensive tackle.
Now, I would move Golston to the defensive end, and I would move Marshawn inside.
What about DeMarcus Lawrence?
DeMarcus, I hate to say this, but they're coming downhill.
Yeah.
And if he could play some type of linebacker, some type of hybrid linebacker, really move him around. Because,
maybe even inside.
Yeah, even just move him around. I mean, on defense line, do not let him be a setting duck. Because if he's a setting duck, he's alive. I hate to tell y'all this, and you can go back and tell him I said it. If he's at those defensive ends and they're bringing this thing down, it's the tackle's job to concentrate on the running back. They isolate. Lamar's looking right at the defensive end then. It's up to him to make the right call. But if they're trying to get outside, then they may wham him with the tight end and drive him down. He's not heavy enough. He wasn't heavy enough last year, and he's not heavy enough now.
Okay, well, they will go, especially since they got an offensive lineman playing fullback too, Patrick Ricard, number 42, and they've got 3 tight ends that they use. Okay, so they go with a lot of 2 tight ends, and they'll go with 2 backs and 2 tight ends a lot. Right. Okay, so the Cowboys are going to be in their base 4-3 defense more often than not in this game, but the way they set that up a lot of times, it looks like the old Oklahoma 52 defense, where you got 3 down linemen.
Yes, sir.
And you got Parsons standing on one side, and you got your Sam linebacker, Leofau, on the right side, on the other side. And then you got 2 inside linebackers, like a 3-4 defense, okay? Do you think that that's the way they will go primarily in this game, where they've got basically – you got 7 in your front set. You're playing a front 7,
right? And I think,
and then what personnel do they need?
I would put meat on meat. You don't have to be the smartest guy if guys give great and maximum effort. Do you think Parsons can hold up run-wise against an offensive tackle? Just answer your question.
No.
Do you? Okay, if he can't, why just put him there and get him beat up? Okay, you don't. If you know, I'm quite sure Parsons is smart and say, "Hey, son, let us help you." Early in the game, you may not be there. You may not be in there. You know, so what? You at the end of the game, you'll beat up because we'll figure this team out and we'll beat them down. But you don't want to be in the game. This is a different team. The way they get outside is with Lamar. Last week, they was whamming and everything. They don't do all of that. They come straight at you. And they look at the defensive end, which is Parsons and Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence is strong enough and savvy enough to stay there and to figure it out. Parsons is going to have to use his athletic ability to figure it out. But if a man is fighting him, that takes away a little bit of his superpowers. Now, this is just how I'm thinking. You know, they could have already done worked this thing out, and who knows what'll happen. But I just would like to see 4 big guys coming forward, and even if it's a pass, listen to me. Even if it's a pass, you still not rushing hard. You're umbrellaing,
right?
And you let Overshown or you let Marifal just.
You got to be disciplined.
Chris, I'm gonna step back. They gotta have space. If the offensive line is right, if the defensive line right here moving forward, you gotta step back because you gotta be able to get any hole that this kid run out of. You always in a kind of a semi-run pass set. This is how you have to play this kid. You have to be disciplined. If you go to shooting up the field, Lamar coming right behind you.
He's gonna shoot
He got
right
the ability
through you.
to fake you.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, why would you do it any other way? Every time they have been beaten, this is how teams have played them. Meat on meat, hard man for hard man. Let's go. Any other way, you lose. Because now you're playing Lamar Jackson hands.
So what you're saying also, if Micah's on the field, let him stand up where he's not taking on.
Yeah, don't put him down.
Yeah.
Because that means when he comes up, he got to use 2 hands. And he's going to have to be full of man, grabbing somebody.
Right.
Put him on the edge.
Let him be the Sam linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just Nate. That's just Nate.
Good. That's good, Nate, though.
You know.
All right, we got our picks to click when we come back on Mick Shots in just a moment.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Come shop at the Star in Frisco on Saturday, September 28th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Flea Styles Market at the Star, presented by Maker Place by Michaels, featuring 50-plus local makers offering art, fashion, home decor, jewelry, and kids' items. Market at the Star is always a favorite. Admission's free. Visit thestardistrict.com for more info.
All right, last few minutes here of Mick Shots on a fabulous football Friday. And we do have Everson's picks.
We do.
He did not neglect his responsibilities. And he is his pick is for Grambling to beat Jackson State 24-10.
Oh.
There you go.
Very good.
Troy got a good team, so I don't know what Fam going to do.
FAMU is playing Troy at Troy.
It could be ugly.
Okay.
Come on, Fam.
Okay. And Mickey's got you've got Vandy coming to Columbia.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a win. And OU's going to lose to Tennessee. And so that we took care of the colleges. Now let's move on to Sunday.
Well, now don't go so fast. Tennessee hadn't played anybody yet.
You see that offense?
Yeah, I did.
You picking OU to lose?
Yeah, they got no chance in this game. And the only chance they have is it's their first SEC game, and if it's just some sort of environment where
it's a home game too.
It's it's their first, and it's at home, and it's game days there, and it's a big atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's their only chance that they have. Because you talk about the troubles that some of these NFL teams have on their offensive line. Well, let's put it this way. Well, you got a first-round pick for the Cowboys who was at OU last year. They didn't replace him. They got another one, a tackle who's playing for the Vikings now, and they got a center who's also in the NFL. And Florida State has found out this year, you live by the transfer portal, you die by the transfer portal.
Yes.
So,
well, you need to go get these Coleman guys then.
That's right.
Get them away from
going to Texas. Yeah. And then when you're down 3 wide receivers, your best 3 wide receivers too, there's not much the young quarterback can do. All right. So Everson says this. His pick to click is Jake Ferguson, 5 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Oh, my.
And he is picking a Cowboys 27-24 victory.
Right.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
I'm picking the Cowboys to win.
That's right. Yeah. Cowboys always. I mean, Nate's always got the Cowboys.
You got a player you want?
You got
to
a player
stand out?
who's a player or a player to watch? Just a player to watch. Who
offensive line as a unit?
Okay.
Will amass 130 yards rushing.
Well, how about Cooper Beebe going up against Pierce, the big guy?
Man, that's going to be a job.
Mm-hmm.
Get your hands inside, big fella. Squat down and hold on to everything you got. Yes. It's going to be a job. It's just that's what it is. They play a 3-4-2. So it's, when they base in their base, if we give them a base look, they're going to line up center covered, both tackles.
Mm-hmm.
2 linebackers
and then they
off the ball.
got 92 Nnamdi Madubuike.
Nice guy.
McKinney North High School in
Nice
Texas
kid.
A&M who had 13 sacks last year.
Yeah, nice kid, man.
But he's
Nnamdi.
only got a half so far. Right?
Yes.
In fact, I did a.
Well, they had 7 last week, and 99 got 2 of them. 5 last week, and 99 got 2 of them.
Odafe Owe.
And then Kyle Van Noy. Don't forget about him, old rusty veteran.
He had a couple of sacks last week.
Yeah.
Yep. And we did a telestrator segment with Will McClay on the Mike McCarthy show, and he featured Madubuike on 3 of the plays. And when I said something about him being from McKinney North, and he jokingly said, "Yeah, McKinney North, we shouldn't have let him get away."
Yeah.
He would look good in a Cowboys uniform.
So does he?
He didn't say that. I said
no.
that.
I'm saying when they line up with him, is he standing up or is he down?
He's down.
He's down, right?
He's down, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's a D tackle.
So he's a D tackle in basically a 3-4
for defense.
Yeah, he's like 300-pounder.
Yeah,
who can move. 300-pounder who ran a 4.8 40.
And Michael Pierce is the nose tackle, right?
And what they did, and what they're able to do, what I was telling us that we needed to do last week, was hit these guys and get ready to run. You go look at the film, all of them, even Big Pierce. They hit, they recognize, and they take off running. They linebackers, and that left number 0,
Roquan Smith.
That left him free to hit any gap he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a study film on how you stop the stretch plays or outside plays. They were running,
All right, Mickey, what do you got?
I can't get this out of my head. You talked about, their troubles on their offensive line. I can't get out of my head after watching the Raiders in that preseason game, playing their starters against the Cowboys' backups.
For much of the first half of that game.
For most of the first half, yeah. And the Raiders beat Baltimore at Baltimore. I didn't think much of the Raiders. I figured they were in trouble. And they won that game. So because of that, I changed my mind, and I'm going to pick the Cowboys 23-20.
That's what you've picked every week, I think.
No.
You've picked 23-20.
I think the first week.
Okay. All right.
I'm counting on my field goal kicker. Yeah, because we both picked the same score.
Last week, Mickey picked 28-17.
Okay, I picked 23-20.
You picked 23-20.
Yeah, both weeks.
Both weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
So
now you're trying to blame it on Mickey.
I replaced them.
I'm going to go 23-20 again then.
Are you?
And my
I'll write it down.
Because we were right the first time, right?
We were.
Except we were a few points short.
We were close to being right.
And my pick to click is going to be DeMarvion Overshown.
Oh, okay. You're going to stop those questions.
He's going to be looking for Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's great.
All right, so what kind of stats does he need to put up to?
He's just got to keep Lamar from running.
We got to be coming in here on
yards.
Monday and say, man, did you see the way Overshown played?
He got 5 tackles.
Finally, they used him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they did use him the first game. That's what got everybody excited because Cleveland was in so much 3 wide receiver offense, right? And he was the nickel guy. Well, this time I think that they will get him on the field to keep an eye on Lamar. That's almost like being in nickel with him running.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Cowboys 23-20. Brandon Aubrey kicks a 67-yard field goal to win the game, which is an all-time record. You like that?
Yeah, yeah.
I just can't be a 40.
You don't want to have to hold your breath.
I've heard your stats, 35 out of 39. I heard your stat.
And Justin Tucker, the greatest field goal kicker of all time, is bringing it down.
He's struggling.
He's 0 for 2.
Yeah,
and he's 1 for his last 7 beyond 50.
Yeah.
So,
but he's ready to set a record, move into second place.
Game is
by the way.
The game is going to overtime, and it's Aubrey kicks a 67-yarder, and then Tucker misses a 60-yarder that would tie it back up. So there you go.
He's made 58 field goals from 50-plus yards. And if he kicks one more, he'll move in the second behind Matt Prater, who had 81 50-plus field goals in his career.
Nate loves field goal talk.
He checked out already.
That means you already.
Nate's on the next show.
Either you losing or about to lose.
That's right. I agree with you.
Wow.
No, you're not. You're not losing the game. You're losing listeners.
Yeah.
All right, that does it. We're out of time. You got a parting Mick shot?
We thank Nate for joining us.
Yes, we do.
Yes, man. Wow, this was nice, man.
Jones High School.
Yep. Jones Tigers.
That's right, baby, forever. And we ain't never had a field goal kicker. We either won the game or lost it.
Did you play basketball there too?
A little bit. Wasn't very good at it. I could have been if I'd have worked at it, but football was the only thing I could do and didn't have to work at it. If it takes any work, I
too
wouldn't
much
do it.
running in basketball.
Yeah, too much, man.
So did Switzer come to your school to recruit guys?
Not a son of guy. After I left, we had a couple of guys that Coach came and looked at, and he took a couple of guys. But, like you say, when he sent his pre-scouts out, they're like, nah, Coach, he ain't big enough. He fat enough, but he ain't big enough. He tall enough.
Not tall enough.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for Mick Shots for another week. Our thanks to Nate Newton, producer supreme Chris Beam, Mickey Spagnola, I'm Bill Jones, and we will talk at you again on a Victory Monday at high noon on Monday.
Go Cowboys.
Tennessee lose.
Yeah, there you go.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?